there has been a huge amount of discussion in DC over the last few months since this has been bubbling away that this is not actually about Venezuela. It's not actually about drugs. It's all about China. It's implausible to think that if Donald Trump wanted to stop drugs coming into his country, that he would need to blow boats out of the water. He was asked by a journalist actually at the White House just a few weeks ago about whether he would use the Coast Guard to do that. Why wasn't he using the Coast Guard? It would be very simple. And he said, and he snapped back, and it was the last line of the press conference. And he said, "We need to tell Venezuela not to F with America." And then he said, "Thank you, everybody." And he walked out of the room. Now, his frustration with Maduro is his incredibly close relationship with China. This is, some analysts say, a proxy war against Beijing and Xi Jinping. Venezuela is $60 billion in debt to China. It has been for the last 20 years, building this close relationship to the frustration of America. Now, how does Venezuela pay back China? It pays it back in very cheap oil. And so Donald Trump is actually, some would say, via this action, removing Maduro as a very close ally of Xi Jinping and actually hitting China where it hurts. He's hit them by bombing Iran, he hit them in Gaza, and he's hitting them again. China has many companies which are deeply invested in building Venezuela's infrastructure, rebuilding its ports, helping its telecommunications. And of course, there is no private company that is allowed to operate in other countries from China unless the Chinese government can use that country for national security means also. So this, I believe, and many people do, other analysts are saying the same thing, this is not about raging war against a small South American country. He doesn't need to do that. It's not about drugs, but it's very much about hitting China where it hurts right at the beginning of the year.